Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. Caitlin Clark's rookie year, drawing record viewership, record attendance, and what did we hear? It's not because of Caitlin Clark. This was always going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Okay. Year 2, Caitlin Clark only plays in 13 games. What? The WNBA still puts up record viewership, thanks to Nielsen ratings. They still put up record attendance numbers, thanks to a new team being added to the league. So the WNBA, heading into year 3, has decided to double down on the "we never needed Caitlin Clark in the first place" narrative. Last year, they had 9 games in the beginning of the season in big NBA arenas. This year, that number is down to 4 games, yet the league has went from 15 games last year, 19 games in NBA arenas this year. Let's talk about it. Please like the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Teams move fewer fever visits after Caitlin Clark's injury-riddled season. Indiana had 9 road games moved to larger arenas last year, but just 4 so far for 2026. WNBA teams are moving more games to different arenas this upcoming season, but Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have significantly fewer of those games. The WNBA's regular season schedule announced Wednesday, including 19 games moved to different arenas, up from 15 last year. WNBA teams have moved games in recent years to accommodate more fans or appeal to those in different markets. The increase is largely due to the Toronto Tempo, one of the WNBA's expansion franchise, along with the Portland Fire. The Tempo are playing 5 home games outside of their usual home, the Coca-Cola Coliseum, including 2 games each in Montreal and Vancouver. But opponents have moved just 4 games to bigger arenas for visits from Clark and the Fever this season, down from 9 last year. The 4 games are July 5th against Vegas, August 8th against the Sky, August 18th against the Tempo, August 20th against the Dallas Wings. The Chicago Sky and Dallas Wings each have just won this year after 2 last season. The Washington Mystics, Connecticut Sun, and Atlanta Dream each moved 1 game against Indiana last year, but none for the upcoming season. The New York Liberty, Portland Fire, Mercury, Valkyries, and Minnesota Lynx are already in NBA arenas, removing any need to move games for bigger crowds. Is part of this due to injuries? Well, they would like you to believe that, I think. They would like you to believe, oh, well, she got injured last year. We don't want to move. We don't want to commit to a bigger arena. God forbid she gets injured again. But that logic doesn't quite fly with me, because even last year, though Caitlin Clark was out for most of the season, those games were still sold out, allegedly, from what they're reporting. So I don't buy into the fact that that is the reason why. Even after Caitlin Clark officially announced she wasn't coming back, the games still sold out. So I'm not sure that is exactly the reason why. You have names like Renee Montgomery, part owner of the Atlanta Dream. Names like Sheila Johnson, part owner of the Washington Mystics. Sheila Johnson, the same person who threw a fit that Caitlin Clark was named Time Magazine's Woman Athlete of the Year. And she said, why give it to Caitlin Clark? Let's give it to the whole entire league. If you ask me, this is a subtle play from folks like Sheila Johnson and Renee Montgomery. Because at the end of the season, they decreased the amount of Fever games that have been moved to bigger arenas. Yet in totality, they increased the league from 15 games to 19 games. There's 2 new teams coming into the league. All that is going to do is just enhance their argument. Say, you see how good attendance was this year? And we only had Caitlin Clark on 4 in big arenas 4 times this season. You see how massive the season was? You see how much of a success it was this year? And we only had Caitlin Clark. See, we don't really need her. I told you guys we were going to do this without her. Interesting. The decrease in moved Fever games comes after Caitlin Clark played in just 13 games last season. Clark appeared in just 3 of the 9 moved road games, including July 15th against the Connecticut Sun at TD Garden. Clark injured her groin in the fourth quarter of that game and missed the remainder of the season. The Fever remained the league's biggest attendance draw last year, averaging 15,884 fans for their road games, 4,000 more than any other team. So although Caitlin Clark missed a large amount of those games, they still averaged 4,000 more than any other teams, which is why I don't think that the injury is the reason why. That they aren't moving their games. Indiana's road games moved to larger arenas were all sellouts, though the games sold out before the season and Clark's injury. Well, that's why you sometimes look at attendance numbers. The attendance numbers indicated that most of those games were sellouts, if not 90+% to capacity. Quote, "We can't speak to what other teams may do in terms of venue changes," a Fever spokesperson tells Front Office Sports. "But teams could still change course before the WNBA regular season starts." I think that is likely. It's easier to say, "Oh, we're gonna show everybody that we know this league is good with or without Caitlin Clark. We're gonna prove it." But once you talk to your owner buddies and they say, "Look how much we made." I mean, Indiana Fever came to town. Look how much we're making, right? Once Renee Montgomery and Sheila Johnson talk to the owner of the Las Vegas Aces, talk to the owner of the Chicago Sky, and they say, "Hey, what was that gate looking like? Oh, damn, that's a lot of money. Maybe we should move a couple games. This is pretty big business. Maybe it was foolish of us to try to stick it to the man." Last year, the Chicago Sky announced in February that they were going to hold the first two WNBA games at United Center during the 2025 season against the Fever. The 2025 schedule was released 2 months earlier. The Dream announced in March that their game on May 22nd against Indiana would be moved to the State Farm home arena, home of the NBA's Hawks. The Wings announced a week later that they moved a game against the Fever to American Airlines Arena. A Dream spokesperson tells Front Office Sports that they are always exploring new opportunities. The 2026 WNBA season remains in jeopardy of not starting on time, as the league and its union have yet to come to terms on a new collective bargaining agreement. Releasing the 2026 schedule is a key step as we prepare for the WNBA's 30th season and allows teams, partners, broadcasters, and fans to begin the essential planning for the year ahead, a WNBA spokesperson said in a statement. Now, this is also could be a reason why that there's no CBA deal reached. If I'm an owner of an NBA arena, if I'm in charge of selecting what events gets put in these arenas, well, without a CBA deal reached, why would I want to start already Xing out dates with potential WNBA games when I can keep those dates open for when a Jonas Brothers come to town, when a Taylor Swift comes to town, when a Luke Bryan or whoever come to town? Why would I start Xing out these dates? I wouldn't. It's not smart. I want to keep those dates open as long as I possibly can. Many different things could be the reasons why. They want to prove that they don't really need the Caitlin Clark effect to boost their attendance. And they want to keep those dates open for possible bigger events. And if nobody takes those dates, fine. Then we'll slide a couple Indiana Fever games in here. But until then, we're keeping these dates open. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all the support. Like the video. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you next time. And as always, take it easy.